is VOA News. Hundreds of Algerians celebrating into the night Tuesday in the capital Algiers following the resignation of President Abdelaziz Bouteflika. His abrupt departure came after the defense ministry called on the long-term leader to step down immediately after weeks of nationwide protests calling for change in government.
We will start the show today from the North African country of Algeria, where the president Abdelaziz Bouteflika resigned yesterday. That's one day after announcing that he would step down by the end of his term later on this month. Bouteflika is said to have given in to the pressure to leave office after the army signaled that they had lost confidence in him. He had been in power since 1999, but due to poor health, he had not addressed his nation in 7 years. Slimane Boussoufa is an Algerian journalist and political analyst. He joins me on the line. I ask him what the mood is like in the country after the announcement that Bouteflika is going to resign.
As we speak now, tens of thousands of Algerians are cheering the resignation of President Abdelaziz Bouteflika. This resignation, I think, came after a very strong statement announced by the Chief of Staff, Salih, who called the president to quit immediately after, of course, 2 decades in power and after at least 7 years of being totally absent. We all know in Algeria that the president was sick from May 2013 when he suffered the stroke and his young brother Saeed was ruling behind the scenes with the other brother. His name is Nasser. Anyhow, what's interesting in this statement that he called gang the group who surrounds the president and writes all letters or all statements in his name. This is, I think, very aggressive tone. We've never witnessed this tone in the history of Algeria since the coup d'etat of President Boumediene back in 1965.
Okay. Traditionally, what is the role of the military in Algeria? And what relationship do they have with Bouteflika?
The military is the main power in Algeria. And it's thanks to the military who appointed President Abdelaziz Bouteflika back in 1999. So actually now we are back to zero. We are back to the start, to April 1999, where the General Toufiq, the head of intelligentsia, now he is retired. He has chosen Bouteflika and he called him from Abu Dhabi to rule Algeria. So now what we are witnessing now is stopping this president who they brought from abroad to rule. So we are back to zero now.
Okay. Now the elections were supposed to be held sometime this year. Did they say anything about if those elections are going to be held soon?
Actually, in his statement now, Salih, the Chief of Staff, called for Article 104 of the Algerian Constitution to be invoked to declare a state of vacancy in line with the incapacity of the president, but the president has resigned. So the head of Constitutional Council will take over for at least 45 days. After that, the head of the Senate, the upper house, will act as temporary president. But it seems now that the army will negotiate with some figures of popular movement and representatives of opposition to start a dialogue in order to start new era and new republic. We are not talking about the elections now. I don't think they'll held any elections before early next year.
Okay. Now, many protesters have said and were complaining that that Bouteflika was not the person really in charge, and that it was the people that are in his circles. Are there worries that the same people who have essentially been in power are going to stay in charge?
The army is showing goodwill for now. Authorities have seized the passports of at least 7 businessmen under investigation over corruption allegations. But those businessmen are from the inner circle of Saeed and the President Bouteflika.
The army's move, was this in response to the protests? The army's move, yes. You saw that as a direct response to the protests?
Yeah, we used to have one power in Algeria, which is the army, and the facade is the presidency, like Bouteflika and his brothers. But now we have two powers, and power have switched to the streets, to the movement. And what we've seen from the 22nd of February is like every week the army is giving something new to the population.
As a person who has been covering Algeria, are you surprised at how this has played out, that the military has turned on Bouteflika?
Oh, yeah, we are surprised. Yeah, we weren't expecting that. Back 1 month ago, no, we never expected that.
Have you had any news of Bouteflika's inner circle right now, what they're up to?
No, we don't have any information about the group of Bouteflika and the inner circle.
Now, many people say that Bouteflika's not the man who had the power. Who was the man behind the power?
Yeah, since 2013, May 2013, we all know that Said, his young brother, he was ruling behind scenes, and he was the most powerful man in Algeria. And he has his circle. Most of them are businessmen. They have full power, full access to Algerian banks.
That was Slimane Boussoufa, an Algerian journalist and political analyst, speaking to him on the phone.